I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the host to Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016, there's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi Stadium. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks standing at 6'5".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
On second down, it's Pollard. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Let's make these babies cry on the way back.
From the gun on third down, McKinley. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Let's go.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
13 yards there and a Niner first. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. First down, and it's Pollard again. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. To throw on second down. McKinley. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. Past the 20. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return. A scoop and score for the Vikings. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's probably a little angry at himself. It was his fumble, obviously, a moment ago that led to the scoop and score touchdown that has him down early.
And now we find out about the psychology aspect of being a coach. Because when you have a guy that's just happened, some people want to take him out of the game immediately. Others say, you know something? Let's feed him the ball again next series and see if he's going to be able to atone for it. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position, 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. "25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Trying to run for it with Pollard. He's got the first down and more past midfield. The 30! And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3. Let's get check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
2nd and 3. That's caught. It's Thomas. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Jordan Thomas, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for everyone possible to try to... And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Nick Bosa, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll look to throw. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Dancing to his left. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. He finds Beckham complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Next to score, Vikings, 49-7.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Off near the 34.
Hey, man. Good stuff. Keep doing that.
How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open. open, complete. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Looking to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Irv Smith Jr., his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
3 down.
Ready. On the draw, it's Pollard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, McKinley nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Wide, get wide.
On 3rd and 2, McKinley completes it to Samuel. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On 1st down, McKinley nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. So here are the Vikings to take over. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here, 1st and 10. A nice run there by Gurley on first down as he'll get about 7 out of it. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. A good job defensively there on Gurley as they hold him to only a yard. It's 2nd down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
He'll look to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Touchdown, Vikings! Odell Beckham, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Extra point forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. On third down, it's Pollard. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on fourth and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And now out comes Minnesota. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Again, they run with Gurley. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. And they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the...
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point splits the uprights.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Back now here in Santa Clara. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
57 to Mike.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He's got Smith here. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take him.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. You change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. This one caught by Ridley. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll drop the throw. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
First down goal, Minnesota.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. The quick slant caught. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Hey, come on, now, come on, now.
He'll drop to throw, and that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, but now it's 3rd and goal. Now back to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Did they try to put together something here at the end just to take into net? And got his man complete. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This is taken at his 4. Now a hit and a loose football. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out comes Minnesota. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
It's complete to Diggs. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows?
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Vikings, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Niners, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll get a chance to